All right, first things first, before we jump into anything, I am team black people, black women, black men, all in between can do whatever the hell they want with their hair. Okay, I am team as long as it's healthy. Hey. And then literally right up under there, as long as it is a full and consenting choice of your expression and how your soul glows, I'm with it. I rock with it. It's hair. It'll grow back. Just want to lay that right there. And so I am Janiece. This is the Whole in Between, a space in which we are exploring making the taboo into daily ritual. For today's episode, this has been such a long time coming. Hair is like one of my passions when it comes to how much research I've done, how at one point in time, my greatest accomplishment was I've mastered my own hair. Nobody can say shit to me. I've done it. And so that process, real quick, I'm gonna take you through the journey. So growing up, our mother took care of our hair so well. Every Sunday was wash day. She was using the pink lotion. Them shits were down to our backs, okay? Within that, life got busier as we got older. I started doing my own hair and straightening it myself using the electric hot comb, the whole nine. And you just watch the hair get shorter and shorter and shorter, especially as you start experimenting with color. I got highlights. What was it? Probably my senior year of high school for my birthday. Getting to college, I went to school up in the snow. So it was just like, it's raining all the time or it's snowing all the time. I was in the gym all the time. I was working 2 jobs. I had full, classes and a major and a minor. It was a whole thing. Nobody had time to straighten their hair all the time. Okay. And so it was when I got to college, I was just like, look, we about to learn our hair. So I was watching every YouTube video. I was a product junkie. I invested a lot of time, efforts, and resources into my hair. I cut it a lot. I dyed it a lot. I experimented a lot, right? And to the point where senior year came and I got depressed. It was time to go. It was cold. There was a lot going on. I was probably very extremely burnt out from all the things over the past 4 years. And so I don't know how I got introduced to wigs, but we ran with it. And my hair was deep conditioned up underneath and I rocked it. I got to explore a hats collection and it was just cute. I got to explore colors, all the styles, all the things, and it worked, right? And so by the time I left, my hair was very healthy. And again, down my back because I didn't touch it for probably like a year and a half. And so when I moved out to Disney after that, my hair absolutely loved the humidity. It loved the sun. It loved all of it. But it was also Disney did not allow any hair colors that were not yours or not natural. So I had highlights. I think I dyed it too. My hair was all types of colors. And so I remember dyeing it like very dark brown, probably black, and it restored all the pigment to my hair. I didn't know that was a key, y'all, but my hair loved it. It was shiny. It was bouncy. It was like, whoa, hi, hello. It was brought back to life. And so again, super healthy. That was probably the longest my hair had ever been, curly. And of course, all of your biggest ops and elders who are like, don't you want to do something to your hair? As it's transitioning and looking all types of funky, all of a sudden it's, your hair is beautiful and gorgeous and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, if only you would have invested into this type of encouragement as I was transitioning and doing this for the first time. Anyways, after that, after Disney, I moved to Atlanta and experienced my first winter. So my vitamin D levels were extremely low. On top of all of the stress of 2020 and beyond, I talked about it in other videos, but finding my voice, ancestor veneration, being jolted back into spirituality in a way that was more aligned with who I am. It was just, there was a lot of components. I just added to my hair started falling out in clumps, y'all. My hairline was receding. My eyebrows fell out. It was like a whole situation on top of my vitamin D levels being extremely low. Who knows what other type of malnourishment was happening because of just eating disorders, the whole nine, right? And so this was very hard. It's very easy for us in the Black community to associate a lot of our identity, a lot of our self-expression with our hair. And so for the first time in my life to be experiencing these certain things with my hair, it was just like, what's happening? And so as I continue down this path of being reclaimed by African spirituality and being like, hi, come home, and going through those rites of passages, and those rites of passages leading me to going bald. And it was such an exciting time, actually. I was very excited. Lo and behold, my family thought I was having a whole Britney moment. It was absolutely insane what they were saying about me during that time. But I enjoyed it. I felt like I was coming home to myself. I was like having a whole Tony moment. I love me some Tony Braxton. And so the bald, it just brought out a whole new layer to it. And so I regrew my hair back. During this process, I would say I braided it, I dyed it, I shaved it again. It was a whole process, right? Until my second initiation, I shaved it again. This time around, we had our fun, but it was different. I feel like I didn't have the choice of covering my head. Anytime I wore a wig, a hat, a hood, or felt too like claustrophobic, like my head would overheat. And so any other Oya initiates out there, I would love to hear your experience. It was almost like she was saying, you not hiding. You can't. Sorry, hi, hello, welcome to your destiny and who you are, right? And it was hard. I didn't realize how much I was relying on my hair to be the statement piece, to walk into the room before I did, especially with my hairline receding, my eyebrows, like I had really bad acne, something I'm still working through to this day. It was hard, and it was very easy to hide it with my hair. And so while I'm sitting here embracing being bald and having short hair for the first time in my life, there are certain things too that I'm just like, wow, this is very different. People can see me. And so I say all this to say my journey, this is outside of how our Indigenous practices teach us to take care of what we call Ori. I didn't realize it, but because it lives in our DNA, this is what I was practicing all throughout the years when I was mastering my hair, when I was experimenting, when I was noticing the energy shifts, when I would wash my hair on Sundays. Doing wash day, it was extensive, but guess who felt better after? I remember one time going to a club and my hair was out, it was big, the whole nine, and then coming home and it smelled like cigarette smoke. It was dingy, like it just felt yucky. But again, when you're in the club and it's just clouds full of everyone's in there smoking, having a good time, the whole nine, and the steamers, foggers, whatever they're called, the air is thick. And I just remember feeling disgusting when I got home, to the point where it was just like, don't you dare hop in this bed right now. Go. Even if it's just a co-wash, go rinse it. And so it would be stuff like that where after braiding my hair or having it in a style for that long, combing it out, getting all that shed hair out, and then feeling 10 times lighter and washing your scalp after not touching it for weeks, oh my gosh, you feel like you're 10 pounds lighter energetically. So then you make the connection of like, okay, our salon and our barbers, only certain people can touch our hair. If our salon, if our beautician isn't in town, guess who's not getting their hair done? Because I'm not just letting anybody play with my hair. And don't get me started on these new fake beauticians who claim that they can do hair, but you could only grip a braid if you slather 10 pounds of gel on my scalp. Who are you? Are you the ops? Who sent you? Who created that gel? Anyways, so again, all throughout these years, as I'm mastering my hair, I'm learning this relationship of energy. And then you learn the science of our hair, how it's like a natural like air conditioner, protecting our scalp. There's so much, that goes into our hair being an extension of who we are, an extension of our DNA, down to the point of how we style it. It's not just an energy thing. It is a representation. And so all that intention, all that energy that we put into it as Black folk, I'm like, it comes from somewhere, especially when you get into like the covering of the heads. When it comes to in churches, you have the mothers who are wearing their church hats. Like, what is that one coffee table book? It's so beautiful, but how it captures all of the first ladies and the mothers and our elders in their beautiful hats that are just grand expressions of their womanhood. I'm gonna get somebody on camera. I'm gonna get somebody to interview them, because I'm just like, what their hats and dressing up and that intention to show up on a first Sunday, covering your head. Okay, so then you have bonnets in public. You can have all your opinions you want, but I'm like, I kind of maybe see if I invested this much into my hair and I'm not really pressed about who I see at the airport or whatever. I'm not saying I do it. I'm not saying I judge it. I'm just saying, hey, I could maybe see the logic in it. Because again, we don't judge Black folks and what they do with their hair. You know, we don't judge how people present themselves. At the end of the day, there's so many levels to it that you can get upset about. A bonnet in public ain't one of them. Because then you have laws that were put into place years ago within Louisiana where we literally had to cover our hair, you know, or we'd be sent to jail or killed, you know, because white women couldn't stand our hair being out because we was all that in a bag of chips with a soda on the side. And then you have the Hair Crown Act within California and not being able to discriminate against us because it's a real thing. And so when you think about the energy that we put into our hair on top of society and how everyone is also making a bag simultaneously, you know, these beauty supply stores, who owns the majority of them? You know, when we talk about how the hair care industry, the Black hair care industry, let me be specific, became a bajillion-dollar industry, and all of a sudden the Shea Moistures and our favorite products and lines are being owned by white men. Everybody wants a piece of this. And then it's like, even to a point now where it's like, who do we trust? All this discourse with Miel Organics and the rosemary like scalp stuff and the knockoffs and people outside of our community using it and buying up all the product in the store to where we don't have none left. And then people's hair falling out because it's being mass produced. There's so many levels to it, to where we understand the importance. We understand the intention. We understand the money and investment that we put into our hair. And you want to say that ain't spiritual? So then you connect that to what they're doing on the continent and in our indigenous practices. And so it was such a revelation when I learned about Ori and Ori care. And so you have our physical head, which is Ori, our higher self, the piece of us in heaven that decided to come down to earth and sat with the Rumila, the transcriber of all destinies, and was like, yo, when I go down, I'm gonna experience this, this, and this. I'm gonna need these energies. This is gonna happen X, Y, and Z. You know, and the Rumila was like, all right, I got you. So when you plug back into me, you know, I will slowly remind you of all the bits and pieces to keep you on your destiny, to make sure that when you go to earth, you stay in alignment with what you're supposed to do. You don't get off track. And so now that we're here and we go through our whole processes of being birthed and, you know, the forgetfulness and all that jazz, because if we knew all the life's mysteries, and it would make life a lot less interesting, right? So, and with being able to tap into Ori, it's like being able to tap back into, why am I here? You know? How do I stay on my path? How do I stay in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing? To see the actual intention within Ifa, within our indigenous practices that we do often to stay in tune with our destiny, to stay in our lane, to stay within good character, Iwa Puele, it's like, oh, to take care of our physical head, we didn't forget in the diaspora. We may not have the same exact language, but I'm like, there is beautiful ritual that goes into making sure that we take care of our physical head, of our destiny, of our Ori. So yeah, when we're in the diaspora and the intention we put into finding a good barber or a good, you know, salonist, a beautician, excuse me, the intention that we put into hair days and washing our scalp. And it was like, we didn't forget, y'all. We didn't forget the sacredness and how important our scalp, our hair, our head is to looking good, feeling good, being in alignment. And so after all of this, after living my life and mastering my hair, going through all the rites of passages, of straightening my hair, it all falling off, breaking it off, dyeing it, doing all the things, shaving it, experimenting, going through my natural, nothing's touching my hair with chemicals in it, you know, the avocado mask, the banana mask, the mayo mask, the literally all of the hair mask, to coming over here into our indigenous practices and learning how to physically, the ritual of spiritual hygiene, of being in alignment with our destinies, of feeling good, looking good, being in alignment. It's like, oh, we never lost the sauce. We never lost the sauce. And if there's anything that I can pass down, if there's anything that I can offer, you know, having being on both sides and knowing and going through a little bit of something of experience, it's like at the end of the day, a clean scalp is the most underrated thing ever. A clean scalp is clarity. A clean scalp is getting rid of all the wahala. A clean scalp is being tapped in and tuned into looking good, feeling good. You know, when we think about being depressed, we think about what's the first thing to go? We ain't doing our hair.
As a Black woman, it's really crazy how depression can creep up on you and your hair can be a really big factor in that depression. I've been struggling to find someone to do my hair because nobody wants to wash my hair. And then you turn around and go to a place like the Dry Bar because it's affordable, and they're going to do your hair and they're going to wash it without question. And then people, well, black people are like, well, why wouldn't you go to someone that actually knows how to do your hair? Because the people that actually know how to do my hair don't want to wash my hair. And then they want me to come with my hair parted. I'm depressed. I need help. So I'm going to go to people that are going to help me. But my sister found a braiding shop, so we're going to try it out. Excuse the mess behind, but this is how it turned out. This is the next day. I'm in love. I'm obsessed. And what I love is that she's a natural hairstylist. The one I had before was also a natural hairstylist, and they prioritize the health of my scalp and the health of my hair. So I want it knotless, but because of the depression and I've been picking at my hair, but she said that she wouldn't be able to do knotless up here. It would just be too damaging to my hair. So to me, this is what I'm looking for. It's like, okay, so you're the professional. So if you can't do something, then you're going to be able to suggest to me what we're able to do so I can walk out of here with my hair done. And this is what she came up with. And I love it. And I'm flexible. You know, it's like, if you can't do that, or you're telling me it's not good for my hair and the health of my hair, I don't want to do it. You know, I want my hair to thrive and grow. And that's what I'm looking for. And she shampooed my hair and washed my hair. And she also trims. I love it. I feel so pretty. I'm like, was I depressed or was it my hair? Depressed or my hair?
And so again, in our Indigenous practices, when we're in periods of confusion, when we don't know our next steps, when we don't know how to function, what do? An Ori appeasement. Get us back in tune with our destiny. Get us back in tune with alignment. Why this was so important for the whole in between is because, again, that in between space on a molecular level, energy never stops moving. When we stop moving, we die. When we stop moving, the names, the recipes, everything is forgotten, right? And so we cannot stop moving. And that's the same with our head. We got to keep the energy moving. We got to keep the wahala off. We got to keep the bad energy out and out of our aura fields. A good example of this, and a culture that I think is doing phenomenal in physically representing outside of that ritual, but when it comes to like hair care, is like the Indian culture. If you've seen videos of them and like the scalp massages that the mothers do to their daughters, and they like grease it up and they be going ham. It's like the pressure points here, and it's like at the nape, and they just be like vigorously like massaging the scalp. And it's, again, I want to show you, because again, that was the thing too. Oh, what is an actual scalp massage? And it's like, you see how our skin can move? It was like doing that with our head. Not just, oh, let me scratch my scalp. It was like, no, move the scalp to get that energy and blood circulation going. And then you take care of the rest. You make sure it's moisturized and you leave it alone. Low manipulation. That was the way I grew my hair to waist length. You know, Disney, you can't do much with your hair. It's always hot. So I kept it up and out of the way. I kept it under a wig, which meant it was braided. Right now, I'm in a season of covering, and I'm just like, hey, I'm not the head wrap girly, so I love me a good wig. Hey, but this hair, the scalp gets cleaned weekly, if not more, because, you know, I'm in the gym and sweating all the time. And scalp massages, they are happening all the time. Wait till I pop out this summer. Wait till I pop out. These curls, they're ready to pop out. But again, knowing what I know about tension, how alopecia, traction alopecia is so huge within our community, knowing that my hair got finer with age, and because of certain things and it falling out previously, it's sensitive, and it's like, hey, are you gonna take care of me as I'm growing back and doing my thing? Like we're rebonding right now. I don't take this season of covering and veiling, because that's a whole nother conversation. I don't take it for granted, because she's on the comeback, and I'm rebuilding this trust with my hair in a way that I'm being soft and gentle with it, because that's also, and I would say last thing when it comes to this hair, I hate the narrative, and I hate is such a strong word, but I hate the narrative of nappy, unmanageable hair that we have created within the Black community. And again, I have pretty coarse hair. My sister's hair is a lot more coarse than mine. I've done hair. That was like my little side gig in college for a minute. I have cousins whose hair I did, babies whose hair I did. It's like our hair in all shapes, fashion, and forms. It's not nappy and unruly. It's sensitive. It's delicate. It's, you're not gonna come in and just rip and rag, combs through it and not take your time with it. It's so delicate to the point that you have to wrap it in fine silk, that you have to take your time. And yes, your wash days need to be all day because you need to nourish it with care, with good intention. And it was just like, yo, our hair is delicate and she's a princess. And when I changed that mindset about my hair as well, of like, it's not, oh, I have to do my hair, you know? It was like, no, I get to do my hair. I get to take my time with it. I get to spend hours on a Sunday, you know, massaging, deep conditioning it, restoring the moisture, getting all of the gunk out, both energetically and physically. The antennas, it being a physical representation of our destinies, of, you know, our higher selves, our connection back to the heavens, to the others, because it grows up, reaching back. All the science behind our hair, it's like, this is intelligence. This is intelligence that needs to be treated as such. It needs to be washed with gentle hands. Just as we find all this research about plants and how they grow better when you encourage them, when you talk to them, when you sing to them. I think our hair is the same way. We have to put care and love into it, to know that our hair, and it being one of the biggest ways that we emote and show pride, we have to be careful about the language that we use, right? So it warms my heart when I see things like these apps and these games that are coming out of little Black girls being able to play with different styles, and they teach them how to, I'll see if I can find it, but they teach them how to, like, let's do this style. And I'm just like, wow, imagine if all of us had that, and during the times of perms, during the times of just straightening and everybody's hair being straightened, and then if there was just great representation like that. So whether my hair is straight, because honestly, all the Black women on my dad's side, they have this like incredibly beautiful silver hair as elders, like all the silver foxes. I know silver foxes are usually used for men and their gray beards as they get older, but I'm like, Black women and their silver hair, you know, especially in the South where it's pressed out, I'm like, that will be me. That will be me. When I am an elder, I envision myself with blown out, not straightened, just blown out, long hair full of wisdom, that my lover will be oiling my scalp and massaging it and brushing it 100 times at night. And it's going to be a beautiful ritual. It's going to be beautiful. It is beautiful. So take care of your hair, take care of your scalps, take care of your ori if you know how to do so. If you want to learn more about that ritual, as I always say, I have wonderful elders within this tradition. If you're curious, that I can send you off to so you can start getting into that practice of spiritual baths, spiritually like cleansing and all that jazz, being in alignment. This is not the time to not be in alignment with why you came here and what you need to do. So I hope you enjoyed my little tirade about the importance of hair, the importance of hair care, and how it is just an embodiment of our spiritual hygiene as well. I'll see you next time on the next episode of The Holy In Between. Okay, bye.